Hey everybody, how is it going? We are here with a timeless reading. The first card that we have out is the Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles is a bit of a balancing act. I'm also seeing the Wheel of Fortune here. Wheel of Fortune feels like opportunity of a direction that you may choose to go in. Two of Pentacles feels like figuring that out. Like, where do I feel like is even the path of least resistance currently? As far as like energetically where you feel like you're being led. And I'm also seeing the Three of Pentacles here too. So there may be something that you're expanding or exploring that's connected with maybe working with another person or other people, or in a different way. But you could also be like widening your range in some way too, because Wheel of Fortune, Jupiter, we think like expansion, moving forward, like pressing out in some way, a spreading even. And to have Three of Pentacles, it could be like maybe before you were doing something alone, now maybe there's going to be like an additional like energy involved or another person involved. And also Two of Pentacles could have been like, before I could sort of manage what was on my plate. And even though it was like a little bit of a dance, I was figuring it out. Now it feels like there may be Wheel of Fortune connected with Jupiter. It can be like Jupiter can be connected with like assistance and like help that we get as well. Sort of like when we meet like earth angels or just people that come into our lives at the right time. And like lucky scenarios or instances or serendipitous moments, and having it turn into like crossover into the Three of Pentacles. I feel like you're going to get help, but some of you, like, you may physically have people, but some of you there aren't going to be physical people, but I'm seeing you're getting assistance with something, like you're getting help with something. See how in this Three of Pentacles you see the main person here? So I'm seeing this be you, right? And there's something that you're doing, and you see like off camera, out of frame, you have these hands here that are helping. So I'm seeing that you're gonna get help, but it may be like off screen or in the background, or it may be like behind the curtain, something like that. And for some of you, it can materialize actually as other people, but for others of you, you're getting help in different ways. So this can be like, it can be like your guardian angels, it can be your ancestors, it can be your guides, it can be synchronicities, it can be so many different things, but it may not be like another human. It can be other things and other ways that you're getting help. Finding the right information at the right time. So I feel like whatever this is that you're doing now, it's more like intensive and it's more intensive in some way, and that's why, sorry, I'm clicking the screen. The composure gets off sometimes when I hold up this stuff. Anyway, moving forward, what you were doing before, how I'm envisioning this, is Two of Pentacles. You see how this person is sort of balancing this within their hand, and it feels like, okay, I got this. Like, it's more than just an Ace of Pentacles. So it is sort of a juggling that needs to be doing here. I need to prioritize things. I need to tend to what's on my plate, but I sort of got this. Then extending into Three of Pentacles almost feels like now that this additional thing is added, Wheel of Fortune, expansion, something is getting bigger here. Now that this additional piece is added, there are going to be people involved. Now, like some of you, maybe before you were getting something ready, and now you're going to start collaborating with other people too. Like it could have been a project that you were working on. Just an example. Could have been a project that you were working on alone, and now other people are going to be involved in what you're doing. I'm seeing the Queen of Swords, which feels like needing to use your discernment with like who you're allowing in on this. Make sure that you are, check them at the door. I'm hearing something about a closed operation. It's just like being particular about who's getting involved in this is what I'm seeing with the Queen of Swords. And then we also have Page of Cups. too. I feel you being a bit protective over what it is that you have going on, and that's why it's like careful of who you allow in to sort of touch this, meaning careful of who you allow in within this process because of how they can influence what's going on energetically. And I'm seeing you have, like, you want to keep this pure. I feel this Page of Cups, this card feels so pure to me. Page of Cups is like the essence of what we feel, and it is that sense of purity. And there's like a child on the card too, so you just, yeah, think pure essence of something. And to have Queen of Swords before that, it's like protecting this. So even though, like, before it may have been easier in this sense because you were like, it was only me involved in this before, now that another person or other people are like coming onto the project or this thing that I have going on, I have to be mindful of how they would potentially impact this. So it feels like needing to make sure that they sort of have, they're coming in with the right intention. Let's say it like this. Let's just use an example. You've been working on a song, okay? And you've been working on it and you want to feature somebody on it, and now you have somebody coming through that's going to be featured on it, and you want to make sure that the person that ends up being featured on it can sort of like ride the wave of the initial intention of this, that they're going to add to it in a way where you're like, yes, this is a continuation of the vision, rather than what you feel like would be wrecking the vibe of the song. So it's like whatever this is that you have going on in your life, I'm seeing before it may have been easier because you were, as far as protecting like the integrity of it, we can say it was easier because it was just you. But now that it's getting bigger, I'm seeing it almost be like, I can't do all of this myself, and like I also don't need to do all of this myself, because I'm understanding that naturally it is expanding, and so naturally there are going to be others that are others that are involved in this now, but I have to be like sort of, it feels like making people or a person go through like a screening to just make sure that they're okay coming into this. And this can be like anything task oriented, you know, it can be the most general way that I can say this, where I feel like anybody could sort of apply it, that this reading is for, is like you had something going on before that you were doing on your own, that like you were fine managing it on your own, or whoever it was that was with you doing it. Now there's like a need for, I feel this, like for some of you it's assistance, for some of you it's support, but you're still going to be like the main character here with this Three of Pentacles. Like I'm seeing you still front and center. It's just like a little bit of extra support, but also needing to make sure that like the integrity and the purity and the essence is being protected. And for some of you, there can be a child involved in this. Like, let's use an example. Let's say that you've been like caretaking a child on your own. Having Wheel of Fortune now, it's like there may be another person like coming through to help, but Queen of Swords is like needing to make sure that they're the right person to be involved in that child's life. Because Page of Cups can like literally be a child actually, and the whole thing about preserving like the essence and the purity of this, it's like wanting to make sure that whoever's around this child, even if it's a metaphorical child, right, because it's something that you're working on here, something that you're involved in, it keeps like the purity and the essence of that. You're on track. Some of you are not feeling like you're on track. Some of you are like, why isn't this like working? Or am I going to be able to accomplish what I'm setting out to accomplish? Am I going to be able to create like what I'm envisioning here? So I do get the sense of you having like something in mind. But having Five of Pentacles connected with the Magician, it's like, are the circumstances not right for this? Is the funding not right for this? Like, is this just not a possibility? So it can be like all of these questions of like, I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know if this is going to be possible. But I feel like this is you doubting your ability to make this happen. But I do see like Five of Pentacles can sort of be like, no, I'm believing in myself, but I just don't feel like the situation is right. I don't feel like the right opportunities are coming up. But with Jupiter being connected with the Five of Pentacles, what I'm seeing is that it's not going to happen until this is time to happen. So there's like, I'm not seeing your guides be like, forget about this. I'm seeing them tell you to keep sticking with this. You are being looked out for. Some of you, you have your guides and you have your support around you, like working, and they're going to be setting this up for you. You just have to trust it, that it's going to work and that it's going to fall into place. What you have going on here. What this is that you're pursuing. So don't give up on it. It's like you're setting out to like really do this thing, and you're like, oh, I don't have the right paintbrush for it. Like, how am I going to make it happen? And it's like, somehow this is going to end up working. Okay. It is. I'm seeing Libra on the bottom of the deck. I'm also seeing Mercury here and Jupiter. Oh, and that's the thing too, like having Mercury and having Jupiter connecting with one another. Mercury is like what you're envisioning in your head and what your intention is, Magician, as far as like what you're manifesting and what you're going to create. And Jupiter being there is like, no wish is too big. Jupiter's like Santa Claus. It's like, tell me what you want and I'll make it happen. But some of you, you're like doubting that this is going to happen, but it is going to happen, okay? So you really don't need to be doubting. I'm seeing things are really going to fall into place, okay? It really, really will. I feel like you're looking for the right person or like the right thing to connect with here. But I can see this being... I can see a lot of different scenarios that this could be applied to. Like for some of you, it can be like a caretaker that you're looking for. For some of you, it can be a collaborator that you're looking for like an artistic project. For some of you, it can be like a best friend that you're looking for. For some of you, it can be a romantic partner that you're looking for. Like so many different things, but it's about like working with somebody that you genuinely connect with. That you guys can work together with one another. Like you're connected in that way where you can actually make like a good team together. But you may be feeling like that's what you're lacking right now. Like having Five of Pentacles and having Two of Cups feels like I don't have this thing. And like, what is the thing? The thing that we want is the Two of Cups here. So this is like unity, harmony, support, feeling like you have another person understanding you and hearing you that you're on the same wave with. And wanting to bring something together. So like feeling that urge to merge something. That because the Five of Pentacles is between it, it's almost like there's a block from getting it to go together. Five of Pentacles can also be associated with Magician, and Five of Pentacles can be like, I'm envisioning this thing, but because I feel like it has to be this specific way, it sometimes like cuts off other options that may actually work within the situation. So that's something to be mindful of too. And also the reminder of Jupiter being here, that sometimes we need to sort of like expand our mind or expand sort of our openness to how something could fall into place in order to allow it to happen. Two of Cups and Knight of Wands gives the feeling of having something that one is actively pursuing and bringing together, or like running to join with. I'm also seeing the Tower here too. Let's see what's happening after the Tower. When towers happen, it can be very frustrating because we feel like something that we were in the middle of doing gets snatched out of our hands, and we can feel all of the feelings that go with that of like, hey, I was working on that. But I see the Tower as a sort of like running through some sort of path or course, and there are lots of different ways that we can run through. And when we're running, if we start going in a direction that we're not meant to be going in, it's sort of like something crumbles in front of us to redirect us in another direction. So even though it can be like, I really wanted to go that way to be able to finish this race, it comes down like helping you. It's sort of like bumpers that it's like, go this way, like definitely don't go down there. So it's like, it cuts you off from going down that way because you were not meant to be going down that path anyway. But when it happens, it's like feeling like this about it. I really wanted to go that way. I can't believe that it happened like this. Like, why did it need to? I was really set on that. So we can get stuck here in this was my expectation and it wasn't allowed to happen because of the Tower. And now I almost don't know what to do with myself because I'm not adjusting. So that's what the Five of Cups can be like. And then Eight of Swords is that again, like I'm not adjusting. It's sort of just like staying stuck within that rather than moving forward. Maybe some of you too, like you had something that you thought was going to be what you were looking for and you wanted to move forward with it, but like something ended up falling through is what it feels like. So it almost seemed like that thing was sort of appearing for you, and then it could have felt like it got taken away from you a bit. And then it's like, that was supposed to be the thing for me. Like that was supposed to be the one. This was supposed to be the opportunity. I feel something like this, but don't get discouraged here. This is meant to be helping you. That means that rather than you having to, let's say it like this, coming back to the example of the person running through and the thing crumbling, what if that thing didn't crumble in front of you and you kept going that way, you went all the way to the end of that and realized it was a dead end after spending all of that time going that way, and you're like, if the Tower had fallen and I had been redirected at that point, I wouldn't have had to waste all of that time going down that way because it wasn't going to work out anyway. So the Tower is like, let's cut you off now and get you redirected. So it actually is ending up saving you time. But just the way that our minds work when we have this model of expectation of how we think it's going to be, then when it's not like that, it can take us a little bit to bounce back and sort of recover from something. So I'm seeing there be like the Tower popping up, which is again that thing blocking you and being like, nope, you can't go this way, you have to go that way instead. And this over here, Five of Cups and Eight of Swords, is sort of you like comprehending that and needing to adjust to and sort of accept like, oh, I really can't go that way, I'm being redirected. So I'm seeing that be sort of like the little period that this person is in here. But it can be, you see the Tower crumbling in front of you, and instead of like staying on your feet and adjusting and going the other way, you sort of like stand there, and then you sit down, and then you're like, why did I have to crumble in front of me? That's what this Five of Cups and Eight of Swords is feeling like, which that's okay too, you know, you need time to process. Give yourself the time that you need. Okay, so we have the Star popping out then. Is this the first? Is the Star the first zodiac that we have here? Yes. We have Jupiter, we have Mercury, we have Mars, and we also have Aquarius. first zodiac out. It gets very, very dark, and then it gets very, very light and clear is what I'm seeing. So you get stopped for a moment, and you are sitting down to sort of take everything in and come to terms. But then I'm seeing you get up and you're like, okay, like new direction that I'm going in. And then I'm seeing you race forward with it. And I'm seeing you be very clear. So it seems like taking this time to properly process really helps you move forward without needing to look back, because you already processed it through all the way. I also feel as well like the thing that you were... Okay, we need to go back again, right? You're running, and the tower falls, and why you may stop and stare at the tower, like this thing that blocks and crumbles in front of you, is because you think that you're going to find the Ace of Cups down there. But it's going to end up being a dead end, but you may not realize that when it happens, because, you know, like we expected to go that way. And so from our zoomed in perspective, it's like that's what was supposed to happen, you know, because we're very like sort of set in our ways mentally when we create something. So what I'm getting is that there's sort of this like period of mourning that happens of like, I was gonna go that way, you know, all of this that we process, but then I'm seeing the Star, which definitely feels like a recovery from that, and then the Ace of Swords. So it's like, okay, so definitely that's out now, we're not gonna be able to go that way, but I'm seeing this path in front of me, and I know for sure like this is the way that we're gonna push it. So I'm seeing you go in that direction, and then I'm seeing you find what you were looking for. Like we have Star, we have Ace of Swords, we have Ace of Cups. And so I feel like this was the opportunity that you had been looking for all along, but it seems like you were on a path that wasn't going to help you find it, and then I'm seeing you get redirected in the direction where you're actually going to find the thing that you're looking for, okay? But it's a surprise to you because without the tower, you wouldn't have found this. But it's also, when the tower happens, you may see it as the opposite of that. Like I'm seeing somebody that interprets the tower as like, this wasn't supposed to happen, this wasn't part of the plan, but it ends up, it was actually exactly part of the plan to make your intention actually come through here and to have this thing manifest for you and give you this opportunity that you had been looking for. But it's just like in an unexpected way. It's like you think that you're gonna find it by going north, and then it sends you southwest, and that's gonna be how you get to it. So yeah, what I'm seeing here is that there's been something that you've been trying to manifest, that you've been trying to create, that you had an intention of like realizing and making happen, but I'm getting that something did not work out. This feels like something recently, but I'm seeing the Wheel of Fortune be here. So the Wheel of Fortune is like, Jupiter in the sky looking at you and being like, wow, are you really gonna give up that easily? Like it's actually gonna work. But it's just this sort of like cosmic laugh about you moving through this and being like, my whole plan fell through, it's not gonna happen. And Jupiter's like, pick your head up, it's actually gonna happen. You have to keep moving through this. So I'm seeing sort of this like the energy of Jupiter shining down on you, even when you feel like you're sort of going through the hardest part of this moment. Because I'm definitely getting this vibe of like, you really are down, feeling like you're struggling, almost being like I'm not seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, like maybe there's not one there for me, and Jupiter is like, are you serious right now? So I'm definitely getting that, like you're being guided, literally, like your hand is being held through the whole thing, but you just may not realize it, but you are. Your guides are like, did you hear what they just said? That we weren't here? Meanwhile, they're just like eating popcorn, watching you go through, sending the tower to redirect you here. So then when it looks like even you get to your lowest point, because I'm seeing 8 of Swords, but then we have 3 of Pentacles. So it's like when you get to that point where you feel like you're at your lowest, that's when you have somebody come through, somebody or something coming through to help you out. Okay. So the support arrives. It's like your little lifeboat comes. They were waiting until you were like, I'm really going to give it up here. Like, I'm done. I'm not going to paddle anymore. So they send the lifeboat out to come get you. So I'm seeing that moment happen. And then you're like, oh, I remember where we're going and what direction we're going in. So I feel like you get sort of your energy back here. Aquarius is the only zodiac that I'm seeing here. So we will label this as an Aquarius video. So then I'm seeing that Queen of Swords and Knight of Wands. This is, I'm using logic, I'm using objectivity, I'm using discernment mixed with Knight of Wands in order to move forward. So sometimes Queen of Swords can be like, I may not be moving because I need to think about this more. This is combining those two energies. So you have like the logic and intellect of the Queen of Swords and the discernment of the Queen of Swords, and then you have the passion and fire and motivation of the Knight of Wands moving forward. So it's like a very smart plan moving forward. Like, I'm thinking about this, I'm plotting it out first. Like, I'm really reflecting on this and planning it first, and then Knight of Wands is like the one that actually does the thing and moves forward. And I'm seeing Ace of Swords, so I'm seeing it be like very, very clear where one is moving forward, and I'm seeing Ace of Swords and also Page of Cups. So this is, I'm moving in a way that feels clear logically to me and also connected intuitively for me. And I feel very, very clear on where I'm being guided intuitively because I'm connecting and because I'm touching base. So we see Page of Cups, which is like what's popping up for you and also what's guiding you. Then we see Tower, and then we see Ace of Cups. So it's like this, you're following the directions of your intuition, and then I'm seeing it be very, very surprising that then the Ace of Cups pops up for you. Because when the Tower happens, it's like, surprise, something comes out from behind the curtain, and I'm seeing it be the Ace of Cups. And so this is like an opportunity to connect, like something is going on there. And then I'm seeing that you're going to spend a minute sort of checking this out and really looking at what it is that sort of came out from behind the curtain with the Page of Swords on the bottom of the deck. I do keep seeing the Emperor. I'm seeing a lot of deep reds, but I'm getting that's going to be coming up. I don't know like what exactly that means, but it's just something that's coming through here. Yeah. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I am sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.